What's up, everybody? Daredevil Born Again premieres next week, and so I've locked in rewatching the Netflix show, reading Daredevil, and becoming Daredevil. But before we get into today's video, I'd appreciate it greatly if you subscribe to the channel as I bring you daily videos from the nerdy world. Now let's go to Hell's Kitchen. Before we dive into the show and what I believe we're in for, we've got a couple quick pieces of news to cover, the release schedule, and a couple of runtimes for some early episodes. We're getting a 2-episode premiere on March 4th, episode 3 on March 11th, episode 4 March 18th, then 2 more episodes, 5 and 6, March 25th, and the final 3 episodes haven't been revealed yet, but I'd bet, and this is just my best guess, not a scoop, that we get a 2-episode finale on April the 8th. Then for the 2-episode premiere, it's going to be just under 2 hours of Daredevil, with episode 1 coming in at 58 minutes and episode 2 at 47 minutes. Those runtimes come from Cryptic 4K as usual, and they implied that all 9 episodes will be in that 45 to 60 minute range. Alright, with that out of the way, let's dive into what really matters, the show itself and what we're in for. These aren't scoops or leaks from me, and I haven't been paying attention to leaks for the show for a couple months now, so maybe it is and I missed it, but anyway, it's purely my expectations and the vibe I got from the trailer. First off, starting heavy like I think the show will, I don't see Nelson, Murdock, and Paige lasting past the 2-episode premiere. I'm not just talking about the law firm between friends either, I mean it's literally going to be down to 2 of them after just 2 episodes. I see the loss of either Karen or Foggy. To me it feels like it'll be Karen, serving as a catalyst moment for Born Again. It'll break him, blur his moral code, push him to bring in Punisher, and lead him to Kingpin. But even though I'm pretty set on Karen being the victim of Bullseye, because I'm assuming it's Bullseye getting his revenge right off the bat, I had this crazy thought of, what if he goes after Sister Maggie, Matt's mom, because she stopped him from taking Karen out at the church? Regardless, I think there's going to be an early death that sends Matthew Murdock into limbo for probably a big chunk of the season. I mean, think about it. Father Lantom is gone, he's lost a friend or his mother, and so he turns to the one man he doesn't want to become, Frank Castle. Who, by the way, and this is a spoiler, so maybe mute the video for a couple seconds here if you don't want to hear it, but he's dealing with his own problems in this show as cops are killing people wearing the skull on their chest. But it's also because of something that Charlie Cox recently said in an interview. He said, "He pulls me closer to a Daredevil that I'm frightened of and excited by. It feels like those two, Daredevil and Punisher, are going to go crazy when they reconnect here in the show, and I think Daredevil's going to turn to him around, I don't know, episode 5 maybe, just a wild guess, after White Tiger dies, which I'm guessing too happens pretty early in the show. But as fans of the Netflix show know, everything leads to Daredevil versus Kingpin. Despite everything that happens to Matt throughout this season, who Bullseye kills, who Muse kills, who, hell, we barely even talked about him and he's going to be epic in this show, Wilson Fisk is the man at the end of the tunnel. Especially now that Born Again is truly a season 4 to the Netflix show, which means we have to remember that they sort of, struck a truce because of how much Fisk cares for Vanessa. Oh, his dear Vanessa, we'll talk about her in a second. I think that truce between them will actually last for a bit during the season 2, as we see during their conversation in the diner. There's obviously going to be tension between the two, that'll never go away, but I think this season is going to end with Kingpin getting his revenge on Daredevil, especially because it's part 1 more than it is season 1. He's going to be down a loved one and down a whole lot of blood probably going into season 2, or part 2 as I'm calling it, which to me sounds like we then get Daredevil's revenge there, and again, that's because it's part 2, not season 2. Anyway, what breaks the truce between them? It could be something simple like Fisk passing the anti-vigilante law, or it could even be nothing at all with the two guys we're talking about. However, I think when he's battered and beaten by the death of Karen or Foggy, he'll turn to Frank to do what he can't, cause Fisk the same amount of pain he has by taking out Vanessa. And so I'll leave you with that. Chew on that, think on it, but seriously, drop some of your predictions and or expectations for season 1 of Born Again down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.